Hold up.
Good morning. It's 9 o'clock on Monday morning here in North Carolina, and my name is Melanie Diehl. I am here today to talk to you about Google My Business. So this Google My Business Masterclass is going to be really effective for you and your clients. So I want you to, as we're going through the steps today, I want you to think about how you can use this for your business, and you can also use it for your clients. So it's not exactly social media, but it's so closely related to social media that it's really important. And it's, after all, it is Google, right? So Google rules the world, right? Google My Business is a really great opportunity for you to get on search and maps and for your clients to get on search and maps. And I'm going to talk a bit about today. I've got a formal slideshow that Google put together for this program. I am an official city partner with Google's Get Your Business Online program. I've been with them for about 4 years, I think. I'm not sure. As an official city partner, it's something that I do on a volunteer basis. So I'm affiliated with a local grassroots organization, and most businesses cannot be considered to be an official city partner unless they're already a Google partner or an AdWords partner or something like that. So if you are affiliated with a nonprofit like your Chamber of Commerce or your SCORE or your SBDC or something like that, a nonprofit or a grassroots community organization like I am, then you could probably apply to be an official city partner with Google as well and help businesses in your community get on Google Search and Maps. But anyway, that's how I came to be a Google partner, and I have over the years, I'm just doing this by myself in my particular organization, so I've managed to get on probably about 100 businesses have been verified, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what it means to be a verified listing or claim your listing. As I go through the session, you'll hear me use those words interchangeably. So if you have any questions, I've got the chat box open, and I'm just going to go ahead and dig in to get found on Google Search and Maps. So I'm going to share my screen and see if we can't get, which one do I want to use? I think I want to use this one. No, use this one. See how this works. Okay. I hope you guys can see my screen, and this is where we get started for get found on Google Search and Maps. So it's important that a business information is accurate and correct when people are searching for it online, that they can find the right information that they're looking for. So one of the things that I want you to keep in mind as you are doing this with your clients is to, can you guys see my screen okay? Can somebody put in the chat if you can see my screen okay? Anybody? Let me see chat. And can you see my, okay, awesome. Tracy and Nicole says yes. Awesome, thank you, that's great. Okay, so let's keep going. So when customers are searching for our business on Google, it's important that we appear on Google Search and Maps, that all of our crucial and critical information appears online and appears correctly. So when people are searching on Google, and most people are searching Google because it is the #1 search engine in the world, this is kind of what it looks like. The Google Search and Maps option works on all devices, so we don't have to worry about that, but it's really important. So when someone searches, for example, dandelion chocolate, they were looking for chocolate near San Francisco. So this is the results that comes up. So it's really important that we have all of that information as this business owners, that we can actually control that information. And the way that we do that is to have a listing that has been claimed by the business owner and verified by Google. And I'm going to walk you guys through that entire process today. So I'm going to skip through that one. And again, Google My Business works on desktops, laptops, mobile devices. It works on everything, and it's a really great option. So if you have a brick and mortar, of course you want to be on Google Maps. If you work from home like I do, and a lot of us in SMU, we work from home. A lot of our clients might work from home as well. You can actually have a Google My Business listing, and you can hide your home address. Here's the thing I want you guys to remember is Google wants to make sure that all of the information on the maps and on search is correct and accurate. If you do not receive customers at your home, Google doesn't want to send people there. They want to send people to the right location. You can still show up on search. Even though you work from home, you can hide your address, and I'll show you how to do that here in a couple of minutes. So it's important that we appear on all devices. So getting on Google My Business for free. The first thing that you guys are going to want to do for yourselves and for your clients is go to gybo.com/business. And oops, I'm sorry. I went, let me back up here a bit. Okay. Didn't mean to do that. gybo.com/business, and you're going to enter your information as you want it to appear across Google search and maps. So if you are I don't know, the dog trainer in Phoenix, Arizona, then you would put the information of your business name and your city and put that information in there, and that's going to trigger a diagnostic tool. So what happens when that diagnostic tool triggers? You're going to have one of three possible scenarios of what the results would be. And it's going to look something like what you see on the next slide here. And yes, come on. Here we go. So the first thing that's going to happen is the first possible scenario is, see, we're searching for Pie Junkie. It says, great work, Pie Junkie, your business listing is complete. That means it has been owned and verified, or claimed and verified, claimed by the business owner and verified by Google. So that means the information, the listing is there and everything is up to date. But maybe you want to add more photos or update some other information. The second possible scenario when the diagnostic tool triggers is Pie Junkie, your business might be incorrect on Google, which means it hasn't been verified or claimed by the business owner. So at that point, you would click Get Started. And the last possible scenario is, hey, Pie Junkie, we can't find you anywhere on Google. So at that point, you would have to go through the entire process of creating that Google My Business listing. It's really easy to do. Let me show you how that works. The first thing that you have to do is sign into your Google account. Google accounts are free. Almost everyone has a Google account. If you have a Gmail account, you have a Google account already. If you don't have a Google account, you can just go to google.com/accounts to get started. And then you would just log into your Google account and click Next. It's pretty simple. So this is when you're going to start creating the actual listing. As if now the first two, when you click Get Started, we're just going to go ahead and dump you into the listing, but this is if you didn't have one at all. So you're going to type in the name of your business. It's very simple. It's going to prompt you all the way through, but there are a few tips that I want to share with you as you are going through the process, and you would want to keep this in mind if you're helping your clients go through this process as well. So make sure that you put in the full name of your business like you want it to appear across Google. Then you're going to start entering your business details. Now, here's where I talked to you just a minute ago. I deliver goods and services to my customers. So you see right there in the middle of the screen, you would want to click that box if you work from home. The one below it, hide my address, it's not a store. So here's two things that you can think about. You might have a storefront and also deliver goods and services. So let's say you are an HVAC company, and you might have a brick and mortar address, but you might also deliver goods and services to your customers at their location as well. So you would want to click both of those boxes. So in the next step, you're going to create a service area if you deliver goods and services to your customers at their location. If you want to hide your address, of course, you would click that one as well. Let me go back for just a minute. I forgot to tell you. On the street address, this is really important that you put in the full street address in this field. Even if you work from home, you need to have your full street address in this field. And there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, Google's going to take a look at that street address, and if they determine that you are a residence, then they might ask you some more questions in the verification part, which is what we'll get to in a couple of minutes. but you need to put your full street address in there. Don't put cross streets or anything like that, landmarks, anything like that. Just make sure that you put the full street address in there. And then enter your business category. So if you can't find the perfect category, you need to choose something that's close to what your business actually is. So maybe you make vegan dog treats. There's probably not a business category for vegan dog treats. So you would need to pick something close, like pet supplies or something like that. If you just start typing in the business category, Google will prompt you with a drop-down menu of potential options. You can't change or edit the business category that's available to you, and you can't add categories. So don't put too much thought into this. Just find something that's close enough, and then click the next button. Then you're going to add more information about your business, your phone number or your website, all of that information. If you don't have a website, you can create a free website. I'm not going to get into that today. It's not a very hefty website. It's just a one-page site. It's a landing page, if you will. It doesn't have a lot of capabilities. You can't add plugins. You can't add hyperlinks in it or anything like that. So it's not the best option, but if your client doesn't have anything, it might be a good placeholder until they can build a full-blown website. And then you'll click next, and this is where I want you to pay very close attention to verifying your connection to the business. Confirm all of this information, respond to customer reviews, all of that. Just confirm all of this information, and then you're going to click over to this next page, verify your business. Now, for most businesses, you would just take the option to get a postcard by mail. Sometimes you will have the option to get a phone call or receive a text message. But I want you to be careful if you do have those options, and we don't know who or which businesses Google decides can have that option as a way to verify. But either way, if you do have that option, you need to make sure that you are at that phone number and that you can answer the phone immediately. It will be a recorded message, or if it's a text message, of course, it'll just come through your text message service. If you don't have that option, most people will click get a postcard by mail. However, since you're working with an official city partner, you have the option to verify later. And that's what I want you to select, is verify later, because I'm going to give you access to an online expedited verification form because you're working with me. So here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go to gybo.com/verify-my-business. And I'm going to put this in the chat to verify. Go to gybo.com/verify-my-business. In this expedited verification form, it's really important that all of the information you put in here matches the information that you used when you were going through the initial process, especially the Google username. Because what's going to happen is once you complete this verification form, this expedited form, it's going to be submitted to the Get Your Business Online team. And there are people that work there, Tim, Sarah, I can't remember everybody that works over there now. And they actually will go through this form that you have submitted. They will respond to you via email. So it's important that that bit of information matches, because they will respond to you via email, say congratulations, you're online, or hey Sarah, we need some more information, we have some questions about your application. So it's important that you have all of that information accurate. I'm going to show you this next slide, and it's kind of hard to read, it's a little fuzzy, and I do apologize for that. But when you are on that Verify My Business form, and I'll put this in the chat too, the partner organization is Shop Local Rollsville, and the email is melaniediehl.com. It's important. You have to have that. It's required to have that information on this form that you're submitting to Google. And the reason for that is they are making sure that official city partners are doing the job that they're supposed to be doing, and they need to make sure that people aren't misusing this form. So that's as simple as it gets. Then you would click those 2 boxes and you would hit submit. So there you go. Congratulations, your business is on Google search and maps. So what's going to happen next? The next thing that you're going to want to do for yourself or for your client is to go to the Google My Business dashboard and update some information. So let's take a quick look at what the Google My Business dashboard looks like. Here's where you're going to manage everything on your dashboard. Here's some good statistics for you. 70% more likely to visit, 50% more likely lead to a purchase if all of this information is corrected. Do you know the #1 thing that people look for when they're searching a place on Google Maps is hours of operation? 40% of searchers are looking for hours of operation. So that's key. I'm sure that some of you have driven to or gone to a business that Google said was open only to get there, only to arrive and find out that they in fact were closed. And what does that do to us as business owners or as consumers? So it can actually have a really negative effect on consumers and on the relationship that we have with our consumers. So credibility is really important. If I get to the pizza shop because Google said they're open and I get there and they're actually not open, I'm going to go to the other pizza shop down the street. They're open. They have my business. And I might not go back to the original pizza shop in the future because I don't really know if the information that they have on Google Maps is true. So it's really important that you have those hours of operation. And you can only control that information if you have verified your listing. The app is really great. I have that on my phone. It's a free app. It's a great way to update information on the go. So if suddenly you have an emergency and you're not going to be at your place of business that day or your hours need to change, you can update that on the go. You can also make updates from the search results itself. So if you're on your desktop and you are already logged into your Google account, then you can update that information on the go. You can create posts, add edits, manage reviews, add photos, and manage reviews. It's really important that we can manage reviews. I will talk about that here in just a second, but here we go. Just what I said, 40% of local searchers want to find hours of operation. And you can see the difference between confirmed and unconfirmed, or claimed and unclaimed, or verified and unverified. Again, I use those words interchangeably. It's so important to add photos of your business. When you add photos, the more information that we can add to our Google My Business listing, the more value that and the more weight that Google gives to our business listing. So that's just one of the things that we can do that will increase our option of being shown, the possibility of us being shown when someone searches for us. So it's kind of like on Facebook. The more information we put out, the more interaction we have, the more engagement we have, the higher the search results will be. Same thing with on your Google My Business listing. So I encourage you to add photos on a regular basis. Add photos of the inside of your store. You can add a video of your business. That's really great too. So there are certain restrictions, and I don't know the exact file size. I'll find that out for you. Let me make a note for myself to find out the file size of the video. I do know that I was working with a client down on the coast and they were trying to upload a video. The file was too big, so they couldn't upload it. But they just resized it and added the video, and they've had a lot of hits on it. So I encourage you, we all know how important video is. Video file size on Google My Business. Perfect. Okay, so I'll be sure and find out that for you guys as well. So photos, we talked about that. You can manage photos. Other people can add photos to your Google My Business listing as well. Some people ask about the the photo that shows, the initial photo that shows from Google. Now, we can't do anything about the photo that is taken by the Google car. We can't do anything about that, but the more photos we add of our business, the higher and the more views we'll get, and the better it's going to be for us as well. So go ahead and encourage your customers and do that for your own self as well. You can add details with attributes. You have what kind of amenities you have, what kind of offerings you have, what kind of payments. That can kind of help. I don't know if any of you guys have seen where when you're on searching on Google, Google will prompt you with questions. Do you see this? Do they offer this? Do they offer that? Is there outdoor seating? So Google is collecting all this information, not only from the business owner, but from the consumers as well. So I encourage you to add all of that information as you can. Here we go about reading and responding to reviews. This is one of the most important things, and I'm going to spend a minute here talking about reading and responding to reviews. If you have not claimed your Google My Business listing and had it verified by Google, then you cannot respond to reviews. And it is so important to respond to reviews. So one of the questions that clients ask me a lot, and when I teach these classes, people ask this question as well: should I respond to all reviews? And my personal, not Google's response, but my response to that question is yes. You should respond to all reviews. The reason for that is consumers have taken the time to write a review, and it's important for us to respect the information that they've given us. They've taken the time. They want to know that their voices have been heard. If they have concerns, it's important for us to respond to that as well. Now, there are some times when people can leave kind of a crazy, wonky review, and we may not know how to respond to that, or somebody could have just been having a really bad day and left a bad review on our Google My Business listing. So one of the responses that Jeannie Uri, who is part of SMU as well, she said this about a year ago or so, and I thought it was just gold. And so this is one of the things that I have taken from Jeannie, and I share this with everyone. If someone leaves you a bad review, you can respond something like this: I'm sorry your experience wasn't what either of us had wished it had been. Please let us know privately how we can take care of this and make things right with you, or something to that effect. So you could leave an email address where they could reach out to someone. Once you have made their voices heard, you've recognized that they've not had a good experience, whether or not you were to blame or they were to blame or nobody was to blame. It's just a way that you can respond. And then think also about all of the people that are just watching to see how you respond to these reviews as well. So that can be very valuable for you. And again, this is going to help in your search because there's more activity on that listing. So there's another way that you can actually add more content and more activity on your Google My Business listing, which will help incrementally. It's not a huge significance, but it will over time. All of these things can add up to get you higher in search results. So there's what I also encourage you to do is to sit down before you go through this whole process of responding to reviews and write it down. Have these canned responses already prepared. So if and when you or your client should have a negative or less than glowing review, you already have the response available and you know how to respond to people. And because sometimes it can feel kind of personal, right? Especially for small businesses, we might feel personally attacked, and it can be really hard to respond with a cool, calm, collected response. So that's something else that I encourage people to do as well. Until you have claimed and verified your listing, though, you cannot respond to these reviews. One more thing about reviews. If someone has left a review on your listing and it is a personal attack on someone at your business, you can report that review to Google and ask them to review it, and they may or may not take it down. So I don't know who makes those decisions and how they're made, but that is an option for you as well. So that's all I'm going to talk about on reviews. Updates with posts. This is really awesome. I I have had great results with my clients posting on Google My Business and getting more eyeballs on this. So sometimes we've gotten higher views on their Google My Business posts than we have on their Facebook posts. So this is a really great opportunity for you and your clients. This could be maybe a way that you could add some more value to the work that you do for your clients. You could add posts on there. What I like to do is I like to just basically take something that might be a Facebook post and add that onto the Google My Business listing, because they work very well. The Google My Business listing posts typically expire in about 7 days. You can have as many as 6 posts going at one time, and they will just rotate in and out. You can also, on these posts, you can create events and you can have links. So if you have something that you need to collect registration for, you can do that as well. So I encourage you to add that information. Again, the more information we add on our Google My Business listing, the better it's going to be for our search results. So you can also use messaging to communicate. This is one of the newer rollouts that they have on the Google My Business listing product. I don't know anyone that's using it yet. So let's think about how this works. It's a third-party service. So you don't have access to your clients' phone numbers, and they don't have access to yours because it goes through the third-party service. I would encourage you, though, to use this with caution, because if you're not able to respond to a text message in a timely fashion, you might want to think about not using it. And the reason for that is most people expect a text message to be responded to very quickly. So if your client is a hairdresser and they're behind the chair all day with their hands in people's hair, they're probably not going to be able to respond to text messaging right away. So think about whether this is going to be something that would be useful for your client or for your business if you could respond to those messages right away. It will walk you through the entire process, set up the messaging, and this is basically how it works. Insights. Insights is great. There's a lot of information that is in the Insights tab. So you can find out how searchers are finding you, how they interact with your listing. Did they request directions or visit your website? What days have the most activity? It's got a lot of really good information in here. And this will help you as well figure out what people are doing, what kind of activity they're having on your site. And it's not rolled out to everyone yet. I haven't checked my Google My Business client listings in the past few days, but it's going to be rolling out to all Google My Business listings soon, where you can actually see the search terms that people used to find your Google My Business listing. So I would encourage you to check those insights on a regular basis. If you guys do have access to the How People Found Us, the search, I would love for you to share that with me, either in a SMU or just send me a private message or something. I would love to know when it's rolling out to everybody. This is pretty exciting because this is going to help us with a lot of SEO, with a lot of blogging capabilities, with content creation, with what we're doing on our Facebook pages. If we know the search terms that people are using to find us and we don't have to go through any of the Google Analytics, this is really great as well. So pretty exciting stuff here. I'm excited to see that roll out to everybody. Now, this is where it's going to be really important for you guys. If you are managing your clients' Google My Business listings, this is a great place. This is where you want to be. So if they own the listing, then they would go through the Users tab on the dashboard and they would add you just by putting in an email address. Managers have every right except owning the page. So owners and managers have the same rights, except owners can switch ownership. A manager can do everything else. So they can even add more managers. They just can't change ownership. So this is where you would have your clients add you as a manager to their Google My Business listing. Again, guys, this is a great opportunity for you to add more value and more offerings to your social media business. So after today, you're going to sign in at google.com/business. So this is what's going to happen at the end of the process. After you have submitted that form to Google, and it's not showing up, I apologize. After you have, I'm going to go back and see if I can find that. after you've submitted the Verify My Business form to Google, you will get an email from Google within 3 to 5 business days. And here we go. Once you have received, you'll get the email from them within 3 to 5 business days, and then your listing will be complete unless they have questions, like I said a minute ago. Now, once that happens, you would go back to that google.com/business to log in. Or if you're already logged into your account, like I showed you earlier, if you're already logged into your Google account, you can manage it from there. But the easiest way to get there is through google.com/business, or to download that app on your device. So that's it. I know that this was a really quick class, but that's my Google My Business class for today. Do you guys have any questions? I see we've got a few people in here, so if you've got any questions or thoughts on this, I'd love to get your feedback. And if you have any questions on how to do this down the road, of course, you can always shoot me a message in SMU, or you can send me a private message, and I'll be happy to help you guys get your clients business listings online. So I don't see anyone putting anything in there, so I guess you guys are good to go. I hope you have an awesome Monday. Bye.